Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige. This is Seeking Alexandria. Your girl has got her Lisa Frank shirt on. Oh, boop, there it is, girl. See those lips, those colorful ass lips? Yes, honey, childhood is calling and I am living for it. When Jeffree Star released his Jawbreaker collection, there were like pieces of my heart and soul that just literally sang. It was like Pandora's box. It was like, ah, give me back my childhood, and I'm excited. When I was younger, girl, a Jawbreaker was, oh my god, it was a mood, it was a life, it was a way of living. It was your whole world wrapped into one. Like, you would go to school and dream of coming home, peeling off the nasty sticky bag you had that thing in, and taking a big old sucky lick nasty out of that Jawbreaker. Like, it was, oh my god. I think about the days that I surrounded on a Jawbreaker. It's sad. And here in the good old northern MI, again, I don't know how they did it elsewhere, but ours was kept in like this plastic bag that you would just like peel open, and it was all nasty. Well, then my mom would actually take them, and when we would buy them at like Kilwins or some other, you know, ice cream store, wherever they had them, we would actually take them outside and bash them with a hammer and break them up into little pieces. And then when we got home, instead of sucking on this nasty germ-filled bag, we were allowed to take a bite out. Now, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking, which is, Paige, why are you telling us all of these random things? Why are we talking about germ-filled, nasty-ass plastic bags full of jawbreaky liquid spits and layers, and why are we talking about all of this? And I have to say, like, to me, that is the brilliance of marketing. That was my favorite thing about this campaign. Long before he ever opened the palette, all I saw was this. This was the first thing he held up. This was the first impression, and as a first impression from a marketing standpoint, this is 100% spot on. And to me, that is the power of visual. That is the power of memory. And being able to take an almost 30-year-old person away from her life and into all of those memories, that is what I love first about this campaign, long before anything was opened. And I wanted to share that with you guys for a couple of reasons. Number one, allow marketing and allow that kind of stuff to happen, because I feel like personally it allows me to make a bond, to make a connection, to make an excitement factor that isn't there for everyone. For example, there's a lot of young kids that they're not going to find this nearly as exciting as a lot of us are that are between, I would say, 26, 27 on up to 35 years old or so. There's a lot of people, if you're outside of that age range, it's not going to have that same effect on you. And I often do talk on my channel about marketing and packaging and stuff like that, and I thought that this was just one of those really beautiful and unique times where this wasn't just a matter of packaging and it wasn't just a matter of a concept. This was something where, for me, it all came so perfectly full circle that I had to talk about it and tell you guys my story and where I'm coming from, because that is just such a beautiful part to me of childhood, and that is 100% where my head went, and I just had to share it. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and kick this off with swatches. I'm going to be doing all three palettes first, just in case that's why you're here. If that's something you want to see, I want to be able to put all of the palettes together. Now let's go ahead and start first with the eyeshadow palettes. I of course will lead in with the Big Kahuna, the Jawbreaker palette. You can purchase this by itself for $58, or this along with the mini breaker palette together in a bundle for $75, which is what I did on opening day. Now down in the description box of this here, it says this is what a rainbow wishes it could be. The next level eyeshadow palette is the largest to date with 24 shades that blend like a dream with candy inspired blinding shimmer, rich metallic, and vibrant matte finishes. This will be your go-to palette for everything from wedding to rave and going out looks. Something that's super random but that I really loved about this collection and this palette in particular is that, just like when I told you earlier how you would eat into a Jawbreaker and it would peel through the layers of the Jawbreaker, I really love that this palette right here was different from the unit carton. Now, some people didn't like that. They wanted them to be the same. For me, actually, when I look at it, I really enjoy it because it's kind of like you ate through that top layer. This is always what the outside of the Jawbreaker looked like, and then you ended up with this. It was just like one more layer, and it made it kind of cute, kind of special. Now, diving into the palette itself, I really love that it comes with this big old pan-sized mirror. It's not quite as big as the palette itself. There's a couple inches, you know, overall that could have been included, but for the most part, you do get a very nice large mirror. And going into the actual palette itself, there's only one thing about this that I don't love, and that's the arrangement of the shades. For me personally, I would love to have seen this be a little bit different in how the shades were grouped together. I think people could have had a much easier time creating eye looks and not get so hung up on so much color if there would have been just a little bit more rhyme and reason to this palette. Now, that being said, there was only one issue that I did have. It was with the metallic shade here, which is Cotton Candy, and that was just when I pressed my finger into it, it did appear to kind of crumble underneath of it and create a lot of immediate like kick and issue, and that's pretty typical because it's a metallic finish. finish. None of the other metallics did that to me, so that one is just probably lighter pressed than the rest, which I'm not mad at. Metallic finishes are going to have kick. They are going to have a little bit more of a crumble factor to them, and when I swatched it, girl, it was stunning, so I don't even care. Now, going into the Mini Breaker palette, this one retails on its own for $28, and the description says, craving sugar? This candy-inspired palette might help. Bigger, brighter, and bolder than ever, this first ever mini eyeshadow palette is the most affordable way to get your hands on Jeffree Star Cosmetics' highly coveted, iconic formula. With 9 new shades and 7 you'll only find in this palette, get your sugar fix with a mix of sweet, matte, metallic, and duochrome shades. Now, let me just tell you, I will 100% honest, when I saw this palette, I opened it up. I love this color story so freaking much. When I swatched it, you guys, it was just like my heart poured out onto my hand. And I've said this several times on my channel. I will say it again loud and proud. I love, 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 love orange and purple together. And this orange shade right here is, I wish I could express to you how much I love it. In real life, this palette right here is so much more aesthetically pleasing for me to look at these pans the way they're laid out than the big one is. Now again, that's personal preference. I love orange with purple, so for me, I already love that. Like, I'm predisposed to love that, but overall, like, this just, it sings to me. Just as a side final note, all of the eyeshadows in each one of these palettes are all 0.05 ounces a piece. If you are new here, that is my preferred amount of shadow per pan. I look to that. That is the amount that I feel every eyeshadow should have, and 0.05 it is. 0.05, I'm happy. 0.05, let's keep going. All right, so now moving on to the third palette here, we have the Brain Freeze Highlight Palette yet again. Love the packaging, the old icy logo. That's what this reminds me of. I think that's kind of the route they were going with, and I love the packaging. It just takes me back. Absolutely love that. Now, this palette does retail for $40, and moving down into the description, it says that this is inspired by sugary freezes from the movies. Here's a new and limited edition highlight palette with Jeffree Star's best-selling Skin Frost formula in next level shades. And I have to be honest, for me, when I first looked at this, I was kind of like I almost didn't buy it, mainly because this really isn't my thing. When I go for a highlight palette, I don't expect all the shades to work for me, not by a long shot, because hello, like, I'm super pasty, and there's medium skin tones, there's deep skin tones, and there's just so many different skin tones and undertones. Like, I could never expect a palette to only work for me. So when I look at this one, it isn't just that it doesn't work for my skin tone, because literally almost none of it will. It's the fact that, like, there's this pink one in here, there's this blue one in here. Like, I don't get into that. The lightest shade in here, which is Cold Shoulder, this one has much more of a blue ice feel to it. Also not my aesthetic, so the one shade in here that would be more than likely light enough for me doesn't work. And that personally is like a huge pet peeve of mine. I can't stand it when I get a highlight palette and it's like, oh, here's a light shade, but instead of just leaving it as a light shade, let's put blue in there, let's put purple in there. Like, girl, why can't you just leave it a light white or champagne color and like call it a day? Now, that being said though, I do understand why this palette isn't done that way, because it is inspired by that brain freeze. So I look at this and I'm like, okay, frozen fruit, freeze tag, like old styles, old flavors. You would have had like a blue icy, you would have had a pink icy, you know, so I understand the concept and like the marketing side behind it, but from a practicality standpoint, it's not my favorite. Now, this pan was the one that had that marbled look to it, and this out of all the shades is probably the most crumbly, which I don't like. Just bringing this in up close, I just kind of want you guys to see. I'm not sure if it'll show up. You can actually see there's a lot of little like crumbly fallout up here as well, just because that one is so loosely packed in there. I do think it's going to be a little bit of an issue going to apply it. I feel like it would kind of scuff all over the place. You know what? I take that back. These two right here, Cocky and Statuesque, those are both pretty loose as well. I will say Cold Shoulder was pretty much no like issue with the fallout. It doesn't cause like any crumblies at all. Frozen Fruit and Freeze Tag had a little bit, but these three right here had quite a bit, especially now that I'm looking at it up close. That one, Jawbreaker, is the worst, but those two are also going to make a little bit of a mess too. So now for today's video, obviously we're going to be diving into eyeshadow. I'm going to bring the camera in and I want to create a look. I'm not sure what look I'm going to create, because now that I've seen this color scheme, I'm just like, oh girl, I need it. You guys, a truck just pulled up into the ditch, or like right next to the ditch, and they are just sitting there idling. Like, you can hear it. It's so loud. And they're not going anywhere. It's a septic truck, for anybody wondering. Septic truck. Okay, It took 22 minutes, but they're gone. And I am going to go ahead and prime my eyes here with the Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige. Now, during that 22 minutes, I did sit here and stare at all of these colors for quite some time. And the harsh reality is that there are so many eye looks I want to do all at the same time, but I am going to try and hone it in. I want to use a little bit of everything and really get a feel for how everything applies. So to get started, I want to go in with this shade right here, the shade Fuck. Do I need my glasses? Y'all, I'm gonna go with the shade Fuck, and I did. This is why you read a palette first. That really caught me off guard. Okay. In any event, I'm going to be taking that shade here on the BH Studio Pro number 5, and I'm going to fluff that on the inner portion of the eye in the crease. Oh my, that was one dunk. Oh, I can already tell you, me and this palette are going to have some fun. Like, I did not dunk back in. That is just one coat. I didn't have to build that up. Oh my gosh. All right, so I just went ahead, I cleaned that brush off, and now I want to go in with the shade Gumdrop, which is right next to it right here. And I want to work that on to the middle portion of the eye, right next to that pink one into the crease. Yet again, one dunk. Oh my gosh. And I'm just going in real lightly and blending in between the two shades just to make sure there's a nice little seamless gradient. And it doesn't really matter at this point if it's all over the lid, because I will be going in obviously with something on the lid. So I'm not too particular about that, but the blend is beautiful. Wow, okay. Now again, same brush. I just went ahead and wiped off the excess product. I'm gonna go in with Purple Punch from the Jawbreaker palette here, and that is going to go on the outer corner of the eye pretty lightly, but I want to build up the color just a little bit for some depth. Ooh, that's a gorgeous gradient right there. I like that a lot. And then just to blend out the tops of them real quick, I want to take a little bit of the shade Virgin, which is this nice kind of bone white colored shade, on the Sigma E35. And I've been doing this a lot lately. It's nothing crazy to you guys, but I love taking these lighter shades and just using them at the top right here to just make sure everything has a good blended feel to it. Just because I don't like having any harsh edges, but I really don't like having harsh edges up by my brow bone. It drives me nuts. I'll just run a little bit of that Virgin shade on the outskirts as well, just to diffuse that outer V. That way it kind of just blends and like softens out to the edge. Ooh, that's pretty. Now, something just to note before I move on. First of all, these are blending like a dream. Something that's not too uncommon when you have really nice velvety blendable shadows is a little bit of kick in pan, which I am getting from these. They do have a little bit more kick than some of the other shades of his that I've played with, but I don't care. As long as there's no fallout, which at this point there is not, that's all I care about. So as long as they blend beautifully, which they are, I'm good with it. But if you don't like a messy palette or you don't like kick up for whatever reason, something to note. So next up, I'm going to grab my Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige and the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 7 brush, and I'm going to cut the crease. Alright, so here we are good and cut, and it is time to start playing around with some shimmers. I'm going to take my e.l.f. glitter glue real quick and just lay down a thin little layer on top of that concealer. Just for my lids personally, they are very inhospitable and they crease very quickly, so I like to always lay down a little bit of glitter glue. Your lids don't cause you problems, then honey, you can skip this step. So now to fill this in, I'm going to have to work quickly. I'm going to take lemon drop on the inner portion and then orange juice on the center and blend that all the way out into the mini palette, where I'm going to take the shade Bite Me, and I am going to use all 3 of those to fill out the entire lid. Ooh, y'all, that is so cute. I love that. I do want to also grab, while I'm at it, I mean, why not? I want to grab a little bit of Jawbreaker, which is this nice shimmer right here. And I think I want to use that on like the very inner portion. And I'm just doing this all on the same BH Studio 7. But I just want to take and pop that like right going into that cut crease. Kind of just layering it a little bit over top of that yellow. I don't want it to be like super impactful. I just want it to be a little bit brighter right there. I think that'd be kind of fun. There we go, just a little bit more to it. Oh my god, that's cute. Okay, now for the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Orange Crush, which is right here, and I'm going to throw that all over the lower lash line. I'm going to tuck it up pretty close to the lashes, but I want to still have it be pretty present. Now on that same brush, which is a Morphe G13, I want to take the bright yellow shade Wow out of the Jawbreaker palette and run that underneath. And now right up tight to the lower lash line, I'm going to take a BH5 flat little liner brush and the shade Purple Punch and put that right up against the lashes. Guys, can we just talk about the blend that is currently happening on this eye? Oh my, like this is probably one of the most beautiful eye looks I've ever done. Like, I'm so impressed. These color, it's all just so, like, it's effortless. All right, guys, so real quick, I'm gonna stop staring at myself, which I can't stop doing. You guys can see me stare at myself, and I still do it because I'm shameless as all hell. Like, I just sit and I stare at my own face. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop doing that. Do this eye real quick off of camera. Come back. We're gonna talk about highlight, then lips, then we're gonna be done. Girls trying to get to it. Let's do it. Yes. Didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. Whoo. All right, you guys, so we are here. I can't get over how much I love my eyes, and I am ready to move into some highlight. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face real quick. I always love to set my face, and I especially love setting it with my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Oh my God. Before highlight, I just feel like my skin always needs a drink, and oh, I love that soak up. It's so good. So I'm going to be going in with my BH number 18, and I want to dive into Jawbreaker right here. I mentioned this earlier. Cold shoulder isn't really my vibe, but I do want to see if I can make this one work on my skin tone because I am oh so fair. So I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, that was satisfying. That big old thick piece of plastic on the mirror. Oh, so good. Let's go ahead here and just like tap off a little bit. Now again, I'm not sure if this will work for me or not, but we are going to find out. So I took just a tiny amount just to start working it into the skin. Ooh. Okay, it is a little bit too dark for my skin because it is leaving a cast. I don't think it'll do it. Oh, it does it a little bit. When I turn my head right back here, you can see how it goes very dark. That means it is just a little bit too deep for my skin tone, but it is really pretty. I'm just gonna hit the little area right here above my brow. Oh yeah, it's doing it up there too. Okay, so that highlight is too dark for me as well. So for the palette, is it my favorite? No, because I won't be able to get as much use out of it as I would enjoy. This one is looking a little bit more textured on my skin as well. I don't think it's something you can see on camera yet, and I'm hoping when I go in with my sprays and stuff, it'll diffuse, but it does look just a little bit too thick or textured over this area of my face. Now that's not super uncommon, but just something, if you have texture like me, something that a lot of you would want to know. I do want to also test out the Supreme Frost that I picked up. This is in Diamond Wet, and it is so freaking beautiful. It's a really nice, light, kind of packed, glittery looking shade when you swatch it out. Oh my gosh. Like, let's just give you a little swatch of it right here. Look at that. Oh my God. That's going to be something. I want to pat it over top on this side. I'm just going to grab a little bit on my finger. I'm just going to kind of pat it in. Oh yeah. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty How Many Carats. Like, it gives you that kind of a bling factor. But I also think it's one that you could use as a highlight. That's why I left this side blank, because I want to see if we can use it as just a straight highlight. So I'm going to go in with that same BH highlighting brush here. I'm just going to pick up some of this product, which does look very, very glittery. I'm a little nervous, but let's go ahead and try it. I mean, it's highlight. What's the worst that could happen? Oh my. Okay. So that's super sparkly. It's not... Actually, you know what? It isn't just straight glitter. It's actually pretty. Now, it does flick glitter all over your face, like the little specks in it. That I don't love. I'm not mad at it because that's what it is, but it is something to note. For me, this is something I would probably want to press on with either my finger or a beauty sponge and press it where I want it, but it is really, like, the reflection you get from that is crazy. The only thing I'm not loving about this so far, this Supreme Frost, and this is more personal preference than anything, is that right now, for example, I was going through and highlighting the brows, and I don't love that while I'm doing that, I have so much of this like glitter fallout happening. That's a little bit frustrating. Personal preference, but just something to keep in mind when you go to apply it, but I do think it's worth it. It is beautiful. So much so that I want to have me a greasy little chalupa chin. Yes, honey. I literally look like I just left Coachella. I have so much glittery goodness all over me. Yes! Spray the face and glow the face. All right, let's go in with some Damn Girl mascara. All right, beautiful people, so this is where we're at, how everything is coming together. I freaking love it so far. Like, I just, oh my God. And right as I'm about ready to finish the video, this eye starts to leak. Are you testing me, Satan? Because not today. Now, before we dive into lips and finish out this video, I wanted to take a second and talk about the lip scrubs. He did release 3 with this collection. The 3 flavors he released are Cucumber Mint, which I have to be honest, that one does not sound like my favorite. Pineapple Juice, which sounds damn amazing, and Lemon Sucker, which I'm wondering how that one is going to be different from Lemon Cookie. I want to say maybe it was with the holiday collection. I could be very wrong about this, but it was really, really good. I actually gave that one to my mom because she loves lemon, but I'm wanting to know how this one tastes against that one. So let's just go ahead here and get a little bit of a scooper dupe. These are $12 a piece, by the way. Ooh. Okay, what kind of sorcery is this where you can actually make it taste like a sucker? Like, suckers have a very distinct flavor and like aftertaste to them, and this has that. Satan? Somebody want to tell me why pineapple juice smells like a pina colada? Like a pina colada? Heavy coconut? Okay, now I'm nervous. I was kind of just hoping for pineapple juice. Let's grab a little scoop of this. Why did I like it again? Okay, so no on this one. Like coconut, but like the kind of coconut, I don't know, the kind of coconut you find in a plastic bottle somewhere that you're about ready to put in your hair, maybe for a shampoo or something. That's the kind of coconut this is. I don't know. Where the hell, Jeffree, honey, where'd you get pineapple juice? Girl, no. Girl, best cleanse that palette. Keeping in mind that I'm not a big like cucumber mint fan, this one's actually not bad. It's very light mint, very, very, very faint cucumber. Like I can barely taste it. So if I had to rank them, I'm going Lemon Sucker in first, a very, very clear first. Cucumber mint in second, and then this pineapple juice in third slash the trash. Slash the trash, that's right. So that being said, how about we take some of this Lemon Sucker and we lightly exfoliate our lips. Okay, so now that my lips are crusty busty free, let's go ahead and talk about liquid lips. Picked up 3 shades. So first one we have is Fully Nude. Oh, I love that color. Next one we have is this nice bright ass color. This is Strawberry Crush. And y'all, this is the color that when I saw it released on the website, I was like, I have to have that. Like sold, need it. This would match so many eye looks that I do. This would match my soul, my heart, my life, my desires for summer. I needed it. That color is gorgeous. But then there was this hot pink right here in the shade Yes Ma'am. And oh honey, I needed some Yes Ma'am to go with my damn girl mascara. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, look at that swatch that I just ran into the other swatch. So good. By the way, his liquid lipsticks are $18 a piece. If you were curious, I don't think I said that. All right, so I think I'm gonna grab Yes Ma'am and apply this one. I think it'll match really pretty with that pink on the inner corner of the eye. So this one is coming across as not completely opaque, which is odd. I'm not used to that with his liquid lips. Now, I didn't go in and finish like lining out my lips because naturally they're very crooked, which you can see right here. But I want you to be able to see, look at, it's like streaky, and I went in and built this up 2 times and you can still see it's not fully opaque. So after that, now I want to go in with Fully Nude and try this one out. Okay, and this color I don't like with this eye look. Oh my gosh. All right, you know what, guys? We're going to switch it up a little bit and have some fun. We're going to go Colourpop lip liner in V Cute. That's right. And then we're going to fill that in with a little bit of the Jeffree Star Gloss in Spank Me. All right, you guys, and this is the finished look. What do we think? I know the lip is a lot, but I figured, you know what? I couldn't make the 3 liquid lips work, and I just wasn't feeling it. So when I went in with this, it was kind of just like I'm going to create my own thing, and if I'm going to create my own, girl, it's going to be bold and beautiful, and I'm going to love it. Let's go ahead and have a chit-chat about these products, tell you guys what I would buy, what I wouldn't buy, kind of my overall rounding out thoughts. So the Jawbreaker palettes, I love them both. I would 100% buy both of those. Now, talking about the mini breaker, guys, I love that palette as well. If you are like me and you're drawn to that more orangey purple kind of vibe, you dig those colors, which I so love those colors. I would buy that by itself all day long. I love it. I love that it's a much more affordable option and a much more affordable way to play around with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And if that's what you're wanting to do, you're wanting to see if you like the formula, see what it's all about, maybe you've never played with them before, I 100% do think it is worth your time and money to check out. Now that leads us to the Brain Freeze palette. This is 100% personal preference, but I probably would not not purchase this again. I'm much more on like the calm, I like normal quote unquote looking skin, but I like to do a pop on the eye or a pop on the lip, and that just fits my face a lot better. I've tried going this route before with pinks and blues and purples as highlights, and I just never feel like my face really looks how I want it to look. So I like to keep my color to the eye and to the lip. Again, personal preference. Makeup is all whatever you want to do with it. The Diamond Wet Highlight, this I really do like. Again, something that I would probably be more apt to kind of press in that way than with a brush, but I do really like this. I will 100% use this again. Now that brings us to the lip scrubs. Again, the one that I hated was that pineapple one. The other two are not bad. My favorite is the Lemon Sucker. Really, really like that. And the liquid lipsticks, I don't know if it's just me. I want to talk to you guys down below. Leave me your thoughts. Have you ever been a purchaser of JSC liquid lips, and do you feel like there's a difference as of late? I don't know if it's just me. I've never in my life had an issue with his liquid lipsticks. I've used them so many times on my channel, off my channel. Before I even started my channel, y'all, I was using them like crazy. I've said this several times in the past. Celebrity Skin is a great color. I've never experienced a patchy, weird shade from him, and all of the sudden, I feel like the Blue Blood collection, all of those liquid lips, none of them worked for me. But I was like, okay, they're blue. Like maybe that's something to do with the pigment. Maybe that's the problem. Well then, when I try on two of his liquid lips, and the hot pink one, like straight up, you guys saw it, it was super patchy. This one was a lot more opaque than the hot pink one, but still, to have to build this up twice, even in certain spots, that just seems so uncharacteristic to me. And I don't know if it's just me at this point. I can't tell if it's like maybe I need to like mix them better. Like before I use any of them, I always give them a good shake like this, or I'll roll them like this, or I'll take the wand and I'll kind of do one of these to just like make sure they are good and mixed, that there's no separation going on in there. But for some reason, me and his liquid lipsticks lately are just like, maybe it's my lips, I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. Have you purchased them in the past versus now? Are you seeing any differences? But I want to hear from you guys down below. Let me know, what do you think of this collection? Is it something you were curious about? Were you one of the people wanting to know if I was going to review it? And most importantly, what do we think of this eye look? Because I am obsessed with it. Leave all of that down below. Don't forget, you can check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. They are both linked down below in the description box. And if you haven't done so yet, please do not also forget you can subscribe here on YouTube. I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. So if you are an early riser, you want something to watch every single day, I'm your girl. I love makeup. We talk about what's new, what's old, what we love, what we don't love, whatever there is on our minds, girl. That is what we're talking about every single day, bright and early. It is a good time. But you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So now that we're done filming, I demand that we look out this window and see who the hell is causing so much ruckus in my life. Ooh, Diet Coke. Uh-oh, we got a little Spank Me on that straw. Kinky. That's my butt. That's my butt. That's my butt. And guys, this is motorcycle. Smells like pina colada. Tastes like pina colada.
That's pina colada.
That ain't pineapple.
Oh, that's a body tanning lotion I used to put on.
Hold on. There's one more.
Banana.
There's another one.
Oh, fuck me, Alex. If I could go, no, I wouldn't.
Oh, this one he was really excited about.
Dirty whore.